Alright, so welcome to DrinkNectar.com. Tonight we are doing a Chilean Sauvignon Blanc tasting with 51 wine bloggers all across the country, probably even some across the world. Received 8 Sauvignon Blancs from all the different regions in Chile. Super pumped to be able to try all of these. Gave you a real quick run-through of where we're at. We're going to have to do this in a little bit different fashion than what I would normally do, so I'll have to type up some notes and give you some intermittent insight as to each of these wines. We're going to have a great time tonight. I'll check in periodically and then give you a full wrap-up in the notes below. Some wines all from Chile, and we have them all of the 2009 vintage. And we tasted through the Veramonte Sauvignon Blanc, which is $11. And this wine, from what I recall, it's actually one of the more balanced wines that we had. It's very light in color, so less of the yellow pale. And the sip actually is not quite as citrusy as you would find in some of the other ones. And the acidity is actually very well balanced. But actually it's just got a great finish. And overall, for $11, it's probably one of the best values that you're going to find in the wines we tasted tonight.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Next we moved to, we stayed in the Casablanca region, and we did the Ventisquero Sauvignon Blanc. And this one was a cork enclosure, as were half of the wines we tasted were cork enclosures. You'll find that across a lot of these, that typical Sauvignon play of citrus and minerality is definitely there. And what's cool to see amongst all of them is that the various regions definitely have different characteristics. Okay, so this wine here is a lot, actually a little bit more subdued, provides some of those grassy tones and the earth in there, a little bit more minerality like a wet stone. The technology was used was awesome. We were conversing with the winemakers in Santiago, Chile, and 51 wine bloggers all across the United States, from Cincinnati to Seattle, Spokane, Washington, little old me. I saw some Virginia folks in there, as well as some people in Texas and elsewhere. It was cool. The third wine of the night was an Undurraga TH Sauvignon Blanc, a little different bottle shape, and this was also a screw cap enclosure. This one's better than I remember it being during the tasting. I'll go through and provide some details in the notes. At $15, this is a great buy. If you see it around $17, $18, the acidity is a little bit off balance in the back end for me personally on my palate. The fourth wine we tasted was from Valdivieso. It's wild fermented, and this was from the Leda Valley. And it had the most interesting comments of the night for sure. The sniff is still there. Very interesting. A lot of people were equating this to being an oft or a corked wine, but you can't get 51 people with corked wine for sure. So something distinctive that the winemaker was pursuing. Unique, interesting characteristics of Madeira, sherry, sour fruit, sour apple. This wine at $21 would not be one that I would particularly care for, but it is an interesting experience. It's way different than all the others.
I'll give it away now. Give it away now. I'll give it away now. I'll give it away now.
Then we move to the Santa Rita Medela Real Sauvignon Blanc. Clocks in at $20. Very grapefruit and grass, and huge acidity, very tart. more tart than some of the first, the two that I preferred in the beginning, the first two, a little more tart than those two. Moved on to the San Antonio Valley, and a label that you might be familiar with, and that's the Connoisseur, the bicycle label. A lot of wines out there with this label. I've reviewed a few already on my own. This one was only $13, group cap enclosure. The only one of the group that is organically grown, certified organically grown. But let's give this one a sip. All right. So this wine, again, returning back to it after the fact, $13. Beautiful across the front, the back, crisp, acidic, citrus, grapefruit, a little bit of green apple in there. Not as much minerality as some of these other ones. Beautiful, someone described it as a poolside wine. Certainly can see that in there. So, you know, by far for me, just one of the most balanced wines for the price. This is the Haras Estate. Like I said, $12, and that's from the Maipo Valley. Let's give it a sip. Overall, excellent wine as well. I'm starting to feel this one come forward. Huge mouthwatering acidity again on this wine. Really liking it, more so than I remember. I think we were getting towards the end of the tasting. A lot of questions going on back and forth. Last wine is a Cool Coast Casa Silva. It's the most expensive one. It's $22, $23. And a lot of people were kind of put off by the price of it. So a huge amount of effervescence on this one. Not sure it is particularly pleasing. It's a little off balance. If you got some, it doesn't seem to settle well enough. So far, the two most expensive wines have been the least favorite of mine. Take it for whatever you will. But effervescence in there, crisp acidity, different in citrus play, green peppers. So very interesting profile. All in all, fantastic night. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I know that just tasting through 8 of these, blasting through can be a little bit of a daunting challenge. That's why I kept it quick. You really want to read the notes for all the detailed tasting notes, because I'll be able to go back through with what I experienced in real time and also on video ahead. So I hope you enjoyed. You know, we're going to have a party on Friday night with friends as we finish these 8 bottles. And life is always better with friends. So open up a bottle of wine with some friends and drink it.